I stood at the very top of Ha Giang, where the mountains stretch like waves frozen in time. For a little moment everything was quiet, just me, the wind, and the feeling of being far away from everything. But every journey has its turn, and this was mine. I started to heading back down into the valley. The roads twisted through villages past rice fields and small homes, where life moved slow and simple. As the sun began to fade, I stopped in a small hotel in a quiet village. No noise, no crowds, just a place to rest. The next day I returned to where it all began. Same spot, different feeling, like finishing a story you didn't want to end. Then came the road to Sapa, and this part was rough. Broken roads, long hours, and multiple police checkpoints that slowed everything down. What looked easy on the map turned into one of the hardest parts of the trip. If you're planning this route, take a bus, trust me. Sometimes the smarter move is not the harder move. Because not every adventure needs to be a struggle to be unforgettable. And the fine I had to pay on a police checkpoint was probably more expensive than the bus ticket would be. Another day, another police checkpoint. I passed two. One of them they had a radar control and I had to pay another 5 million. And I didn't really understand, but I think they charge the tourists and the locals are okay because I was only following the traffic. And the radar station that I passed, I remember that one really well, and there was the other driver in front of me and I was exact the same speed like him. And they stopped me, they let him pass. So, also it's a fact, if I'm riding here without a helmet, they charge me. But most of the locals here they ride without helmet, so yeah, it's a bit tricky here, the rules. This officer was even better. He spoke to the translator and the translation that came out said, "Welcome to Vietnam. You have to follow the rules in our on our roads." So it was a bit weird. So I hope that I can go to Sapa without any other checks, but I have to go another 3 hours, and already I lost 1 hour because on the police check I didn't have enough cash with me to pay, so I'll stay within the law from now. The law says 50 kilometers on the road outside of cities and 40 inside of cities. It's extremely slow and no one follows it, but I don't want to pay another 5 million. Just here, this way, 200 meters, there was the second police check. And they wanted to charge me for the full 7 million because of the wrong driving license. But I got lucky, my friend from the first police check, he answered the phone and he managed that situation, so I hope that he will pick up his phone later again, because for now it looks like the police is very busy today. The road to Sapa wasn't a journey, it was a test of patience. An endless rhythm of stop and go where every turn seemed to lead to another delay. Construction sites carved into the mountains, broken roads that forced me to slow to a crawl, and detours that pulled me further and further away from everything that felt like a straight path. There were moments where the road simply disappeared, replaced by rough dirt tracks and narrow field paths that only a motorbike could navigate. Without it, I wouldn't have made it through. Meanwhile, buses moved on a different world entirely, gliding across the highway, faster, smoother, untouched by the chaos below. And that's why, if you're planning this journey, take the bus. Because sometimes, the easiest path isn't the one you're riding alone. It's the one that gets you there. At the edge of Vietnam, where mountains rise like ancient guardians and clouds drift low enough to touch, lies Lao Cai, a frontier city pressed against the border of China, where cultures don't just meet, they blend, clash, and reshape each other over centuries. Lao Cai has always been a gateway for trade, for migration, for history itself. Once part of an old caravan route linking Vietnam to Yunnan, this region carried more than goods. It carried languages, traditions, and entire ways of life across rugged terrain that still feels untamed today. But the history here hasn't always been quiet. In 1979, during the brief but intense Sino-Vietnamese War, Lao Cai became one of the main battlegrounds. The city was heavily damaged, nearly erased, and then rebuilt. What stands today is not just a place, it's a proof of resistance. And yet, beyond the past, life flows gently again. Markets pulse with color and voices. Ethnic minorities from surrounding mountains discreet into the city, wearing textiles that tell stories older than the borders. The Red Dao, the Hmong, the Thai, each community adding its own rhythm to the city. Just beyond lies Sapa, but Lao Cai itself is the threshold, the moment before the mountains fully take over. Trains arrive here from Hanoi like a slow transition between worlds, from the chaos of the capital into a landscape where time stretches and the air feels different. This isn't just a destination, it's a crossing point. Between nations, between histories, between past and present. And somewhere between the border gates and the mountain roads, I figured out how to find a good place to stay here. So I survived another day here. Today I had the first scary situation with a bus that came very close, but everything else was okay. And now I found a good way to get a location, because it doesn't matter if you stay in a homestay or a hotel, the price is pretty the same. Like a homestay is like $8 and a hotel like this is 14 to 15. This one is expensive, so I paid 18 for the night. I think normally it gets cheaper when I stay longer. And the good point is, when you have a hotel that's a big building, it's easy to find that. Because the most homestays, they're somewhere high. So even if you're on the right location, you go down in a small alley and then you have 10 different entrances and you don't really know what's your homestay. So I had that last time, that's why I choose that hotel. And for now I have to say I'm pretty happy. So I'll see you tomorrow. Tomorrow I go to Sapa. Weather's perfect today. My checkout is hopefully not at 10 o'clock because I hope that the weather's getting better. But it's not too bad. My first day I was riding like this for 1 hour and I'm almost in Sapa, so it's another hour to go there. And it's completely on the road because on the first day I've been off-road for a while. That was pretty bad, muddy and rain, and didn't know where to go. The weather is pretty rough today, but honestly, I'm just glad there's not much traffic. It's only about an hour, but it doesn't feel like it. The road keeps climbing non-stop. Every turn goes uphill, and with the rain, it makes everything more intense. Beautiful, but exhausting. This is one of those rides that look easy on paper, but definitely isn't. Sapa wasn't always a travel destination. It started as a small mountain settlement, long before the French arrival. In the early 1900s, French colonials discovered the cool climate up here and turned it into a hill station. They built villas, roads, and eventually the connection from Lao Cai up into the mountains. What is now a scenic route used to be a steep, difficult path carved into the hills. The road from Lao Cai to Sapa climbs fast. In just a short distance, you race from the lowlands near the Chinese border into misty highlands. These mountains are home to ethnic minority communities who lived there for generations, shaping the terraces and trails long before tourism arrived. Today it's a road people travel for the views, but it was built out of necessity, and it still demands respect. Now check this out. That's the apartment I have for the next 2 days. It looks even better than on the pictures. It was a bit confusing to find that apartment because when you look outside it looks like a tall building. There are 4 or 5 floors, but from the side of the road it looks like a normal building, and it's built on the hill, so you see only 2 floors. Then you go inside and then you realize there are 3 more floors to the bottom. I don't really know why they have the bathtub in the living room, especially because everyone else can see you, so you have to shut down everything for privacy, even for the bathroom. But that's great. So when you sit on the toilet you have a whole view to the city. If you watched that video till that point, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button. See you later. Cheers.